We're talking about what it means to love God with all our heart, all our soul, all our strength, all our might, to love our neighbor as ourselves. And said yesterday that part of loving is having to know who it is that we're loving. Something about them that makes them, brings forth this idea of loving them. Again, not in the emotional way, all of that. We know exactly what that is kind of hard to define, uh, but we're going to try and explore that as we go through there. Well, part of loving God, first we have to know who He is. And the Scripture gives us some things. I want to cover the simplest one, probably, uh, tonight, today, and then cover a couple of other passages that give us some insight into uh, who this God is that we are supposed to be loving. Very simple passage that most everybody has heard at one time or another. Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. God created the heavens and He created the earth, everything in it. The account goes on, talks about light, dark, sun, moon, stars, the land, the sea, the creatures that fly in the air, the creatures that crawl on the ground, the creatures that swim in the sea, and the plants, basically everything. And we said, yeah, okay, we get this. God created everything. But what does that unfold as? What does that mean? That there is a plan, a way of uh, this thing working together, being put together that God followed to make it work in a certain way. And it's going to be complex. We look around at the world and we, see all sorts of complexity. We see beauty, we see rhythm. The language of science is mathematics, and you can look into mathematics and see these repeating patterns that show up again in nature over and over and over again. We see these rhythms, we see things working according to a cause and effect. All of this was put in place by God, according to Scripture. There is a way that all of this makes sense. We keep working trying to figure out what that sense is. Right now, we've got people working in trying to figure out how, with the knowledge we have, to create a vaccine for a coronavirus that has cropped up. We see people in the past having worked on vaccines and inoculations, wiping out things that used to plague us and kill thousands of people every year. And we're doing it again. But it's because for all of this seeming random out of nowhere, there really is an out of somewhere according to a pattern. And there is a response that we are trying to find that will allow us to combat that virus and eliminate it or help people survive it. There are other patterns that we look at, and some of them we understand, some of them we don't. On the astronomy picture of the day, the other day they had a picture up of a galaxy that is spinning extremely fast. In fact, so fast that it shouldn't be holding together. But we've got this galaxy. It's a very beautiful galaxy. And it's out there and it's spinning, but we don't understand it yet. This shouldn't surprise us. If God, who is infinite, who is all-wise, who's all-powerful, if he created this, and he is, as Scripture says, so much greater and smarter and more knowledgeable than we are, it shouldn't surprise us. We can't always figure things out. Uh, we look at the stars, and uh, one of the things they're watching right now is the star Betelgeuse that is fading, and it's a variable star. It fades and brightens over time, but it seems to be doing it in a abnormal way at this time. And we study the stars, we study microbiology, we study human anatomy, we study all these things trying to understand them. And the amazing thing is they're understandable. We don't always understand everything right off, but they're understandable. This should not surprise us if there is a God who created the heavens and the earth. One of the things we should know about God is just how infinitely wise and powerful and wonderful and loving He is, just from looking at creation and seeing how He made it. So we should love God for who He is as Creator, as the one who put all this in place and enables it to make sense. We can make sense of this world because there is a sensible God who loves us. There's a land that is fairer than day, and by faith we can see it afar. For the Father waits over the way to prepare us a dwelling place there, in the sweet by and by. We shall meet on that beautiful shore, in the sweet by and by. We shall meet on that beautiful shore. We shall sing on that beautiful shore the melodious songs of the blessed, and our spirits shall sorrow no more. Not a sigh for the blessing of rest, in the sweet by and by. We shall meet on that beautiful shore, in the sweet by and by. We shall meet on that beautiful shore, to our bountiful Father above. We will offer the tribute of praise for the glorious gift of His love, and the blessings that hallow our days, in the sweet by and by. We shall meet on that beautiful shore, in the sweet by and by. We shall meet on that beautiful shore.